I've had radiation treatments 3 times. I'm currently on my 3rd set. The first 2 times I had masks. You can see them on the walls up above me. This 3rd time I don't have a mask because the cancer is lower. But what's it like to get a mask? So you go in after they've done some scans on you, determine you do have the cancer. They know about where it is. If it's in your head and neck area, and my 2nd time it was on my sternum, so that was still high enough. They need to immobilize you for the radiation treatments because it's very important that they know exactly where your cancer is while you're on the table, and they point the radiation beam at your cancer and don't hurt anything else as best they can. So they fit you with a mask. So you lie on a table. They take this flat piece of plastic that looks a little like mesh and they soak it in water until it gets a little pliable. And then when I was doing it, I had 2 technicians get on either side of my head with me lying flat on the table and push the flat piece of mesh down over my face and shoulders. It does go over your shoulders. And push on it to fit it to your face and your neck and your shoulders. And they bolt it to the table. You can see the bolts, the black things. They bolt it to the table that you're lying on. And then you lie there while it hardens. And I can't remember how long it takes. I'm thinking maybe 20, 30 minutes. And so you have this mask over your face. They do have openings for your eyes and your mouth. It looks a bit scary. If you're not that claustrophobic, it's not bad at all. I didn't find it a horrible experience, but you do have to lie there. The whole process probably takes around 45 minutes. If you have any indigestional or digestional issues, you might not want to eat before you go in or drink too much coffee because you are lying flat on your back. I have found that to be helpful with all my radiation treatments. Just going in fasted with a little bit of coffee so that I'm not sick to my stomach. After the mask hardens, then they unbolt it and then you're good. And then every radiation treatment, you've got that mask. They do some lining up with lasers. There are marks on my masks where they lined up some laser sites so that when I went back in to do radiation, they could set the beam in the proper way. And that takes a little while. So when you go in for your radiation treatment, they put you on the table. They push the mask down over your face so that you get in exactly the same position you were when they took all the measurements. They line up all of the lasers from the other room. They leave the room and then they line up all the lasers. When I was doing the radiation on my head and neck, I was able to wear a t-shirt under the mask. That was not a problem because all the marks were on the mask. They line up everything. They might adjust the table a little bit to line up with the lasers, so that takes 10 minutes or so. And then you hear the buzz where the radiation beam comes on, and it's a machine that moves around you. So you see the arm of it moving around you as the beam is on. In all of my instances, there's always been a buzzing sound while the radiation is active. You lie perfectly still, don't move, because again, you want the radiation going in exactly the right place. With this 3rd time, the cancer has moved low enough. It's in a lymph node near my trachea and lungs. I don't get a mask because the radiation process is with my arms above my head. And so went in for one place called it a dress rehearsal. I'm going to a new place now because my doctor moved and they call it a sim. So you go in to get fitted for where is your cancer, where does the radiation beam need to be. And they do this with CT scans and computers. And in that one, since the cancer tumor was a little lower, I had to have my arms above my head and no shirt because they mark on your body instead of the mask. So they use the CT scans, figure out where the cancer is, line up all the lasers, mark on your body where lasers should line up. And since you have to lie in exactly the same position, same reason, so that the radiation goes where it's supposed to go and not anywhere else, they put a little cushion under you that kind of form fits. So they kind of form fit it to where your arms are and where your sides are and your body is. And again, they make all the markings so that each time you go back to do your radiation, you lie on that cushion And then they spend a few minutes adjusting your body so that the marks line up with the lasers, and that takes a little time. It takes a lot of time, actually. I think it takes more time with that than it did previously with the masks. If they started by marking my body with like a Sharpie marker or ink or something, and then the first week of radiation, I did get 3 small dot tattoos for the laser marks, because of course the marks on your body do wear off while you shower and clothes rub them and everything. So the 3 dots, I have 1 on my chest and then 1 on each of my sides for them to line up with lasers. So I like to say that, you know, I got a tattoo before my husband did. So it's of course just 3 dots, but it's tattoo. And so that you might get a tattoo, like an actual tattoo with a needle and ink that's a little more permanent. I don't know. I mean, it's not painful. It's not noticeable, nothing like that. And again, you go in for the days of your radiation. You get in position. I have 2 technicians on either side of me, adjusting my body, telling me don't help, but let me pull and tug, and getting those marks on my body lined up with the lasers exactly right. They talk during it. All my technicians have been awesome. And then they leave the room, and then it takes a while. You have to lie perfectly still. Again, allergy season is bad. I've been making sure to take an allergy pill before I go in. I did have to cough one day. It was horrible because you can't move. Radiation is bad for your body, so they want to make sure it's going in the right place. So you lie there perfectly still while they check all the computers. They actually do a CT scan while you're on the table for each session, just to make sure they've got the tumor in target and that everything's lined up. They adjust the table a little bit, so I jiggle a little bit, a little left, a little right, a little tilt to get me lined up. And then the buzzer starts, and the buzzer starts with the radiation beam. I believe, I know for sure in my first set of radiation, the beam would go by 3 times. I think it went by 3 times on my second set, but I can't remember. It's going by 2 times, but for longer on this one, and that may vary. But you lie perfectly still, the beam comes on, the machine makes its sweep, it goes off, you continue lying perfectly still, and then the beam comes on again, the buzzer comes on, and the beam goes around you. And then once that's finished, once you've had your last pass with radiation, then you can move. And you get off the table and you do it again the next day.